Morris stepped in, before I even knew there was a problem, and got us this room, courtesy of the IPU, to whom we are very grateful. Most of the people who are here, I think, are old friends, and know a great deal of what will be said this morning. In the words of Mark Antony, I tell you that which you yourselves do know. But for the benefit of particularly members of the media and those who may not have visited us before, I hope you forgive me if I say a little about the background to this report. May I begin by introducing my colleagues in this inquiry. Dr. Norman Jones has a distinguished career in medicine. I said has rather than had, Norman, because from the very fact that you're here, we recognise that it's not yet concluded. Dr. Jones is emeritus consulting physician to St Thomas's Hospital and a former treasurer of the Royal College of Physicians. Miss Judith Willis is Chief Executive of the British Society of Immunology. Our indefatigable and indispensable secretary is B.J. Mears, a solicitor with Messrs. Fenton. We all agreed to serve on this inquiry at the invitation of Lord Morris, and it's hardly necessary to spell out his distinguished career in the service of disabled people, certainly among present company. In 1970, as a member of the House of Commons, he presented and steered through Parliament the Chronically Sick and Disabled Persons Bill, a landmark in the recognition of the needs of people with disabilities. In 1974, he became the world's first Minister for Disabled People, a post in which he was instrumental in introducing a whole series of allowances for the financial relief of victims of disability, including mobility allowance. His subsequent work in this field has won him a People of the Year award, the ePolitics Parliamentary Award, and the Rehabilitation International Quinquennial Award. He is, and has been for more than 10 years, President of the Hemophilia Society. Alf, thank you very much both for establishing this inquiry and for your untiring help in maintaining it. Initially, the medical member of the inquiry was Lord Turnberg, a former president of the Royal College of Physicians. Dr. Jones then acted as a consultant to the inquiry. Sadly, Lord Turnberg was compelled by a family tragedy to resign from the inquiry, and his place was taken by Dr. Jones. And Judith and I would like to record our debt to Lord Turnberg for his contribution to our work, and our appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Jones for his readiness to step into the rescue, and for his unstinting enthusiasm with which he's contributed his time and his learning. My wife now recognizes his voice on the telephone before he even says who he is. Our inquiry came about in consequence of a tragedy extending through the 1970s and 1980s. People suffering from haemophilia were treated with blood and blood products which transpired to have been infected with the virus of hepatitis C, and some 4,670 contracted the infection. Of those, 1,243 also contracted HIV. At the time when our inquiry began, only 2,552 of the patients were